This video is sponsored by Raycon.
Chocolate chips on the Chuck E. Cheese plate. Oh wait, milk in the Chuck E. Cheese cup? Ooh, super heat.
Oh hey guys, what's up? You just caught me watching chocolate chips on the Chuck E. Cheese plate. Oh wait, milk in the Chuck E. Cheese cup. Do you guys like Pokémon? You know, Pokémon. It's one of the highest grossing multimedia franchises of all time with a long storied history behind it. You'd have to be an idiot to not know what this is. It's full of high highs and admittedly extremely low lows, but no matter what happens, I'll always have a particular soft spot for the older games. Recently, I've been getting back into the series and it's been a wild ride. After years of refusing to learn competitive Pokémon, I finally caved in and I am so glad I did. Playing through these games with a more analytical eye has helped completely shift my perceptions on some of my favorites, and had me brainstorming all the ways that these titles completely changed the industry as we know it. I attribute a lot of the initial success of these to the inherent social nature of Pokemon as a concept. Sure, you could create and customize your own team, that's great and all, but each of the games only go on for so long. Adding multiplayer features like trading and battling with other people helped allow Pokemon to have a truly unlimited gameplay variety. Having friends to play with makes Pokemon the phenomenon that it is. But what if you don't have friends? Well, while there's plenty of battles in-game to substitute for real people, the thing I want to talk about is trading. I've always felt like trading was a really unique addition to Pokemon's gameplay. Sending your monster to a friend and getting one back is super cool, but again, what if no one is around for that? What if you are forever alone? Well, my friend, you are in luck, for we are able to simulate the sensation of trading with others via in-game trading. This is a form of trading that happens from within a single game, where you can swap Pokemon with NPCs scattered around the overworld of any given game. There's no need to make friends when you have someone like Cliff the Hiker to hang out with. You would never leave me, would you, Cliff? I know your every move, Cliff. The 4 invisible grid panels you can walk in. I know about them, and I know that you can't go anywhere. Only true Cliff the Hiker stands know what I'm talking about. Follow my Twitter. Now, before anybody gets worked up with me, yes, I know the global trading system was a thing from Generation 4 onward. The GTS was and still is a great way to trade with anybody over the internet. But for some reason, Game Freak kept including in-game trades regardless of this. Maybe it was because of some sort of quota they needed to fill, or maybe they added them for people who didn't have Wi-Fi. Regardless of their reasoning, their existence intrigues me. So for shits and giggles, I decided to nail down what I think are the top 5 worst in-game trades of all time. Now, if I were a Pokemon YouTuber, I'd probably have a better intro for this, but I'm not a Poketuber. I'm a jackass.
Fuck you!
When I was first writing this video, I wanted to rank every in-game trade in the series into one definitive list. But then I scrolled through Bulbapedia for a bit and got really upset, like irrationally upset. There are so many in-game trades throughout the series, it gave me actual anxiety about having to cover all of them. Also, I really don't know how to write a video ranking all of these in a row that won't get old, like, super quickly. A lot of these boil down to opinion, and while this will be very opinionated, I want to have some facts to back up my choices. And I don't have time to research the competitive viability of over 100 Pokemon for a YouTube video that only 3 people will care about. And if you're one of those 3 viewers, shout out to you. Yeah, I see you at YoshoCookie on Twitter. You probably thought your ass wasn't gonna get mentioned in a video for some reason, but guess what? Here we are, fucker. I see you. So speaking of opinion, this is how I'm gonna choose the worst trades. Some facts, mostly opinions. If you take issue with this, then please leave a comment and let me know. And if you're okay with this, simply comment the word balls. Just like 5, maybe 6 times. Just balls. Thanks. Balls.
I'm clutching my balls because they're warm.
Okay, so this is the part of the video where the sponsorship happens, so I can eat tonight. Whoa, hold up. What is that? What does that thing say? That small little thing over there. Whoa, my God. Wait a second. You can go to buyraycon.com/saltydk10 or click the link in the description below to get 15% off your order. Wow, I did not know that. Oh my gosh. Listen, I get it. Looking at tech all day? It definitely sucks. Trust me, my eyes are currently bleeding as I speak. So if you ever want to take a break but not feel totally unplugged, Raycon has got your back. The Raycon Everyday E25 earbuds are completely wireless, allowing you to slip your tech away while still listening to all the best music, podcasts, and videos. These bad boys give you a solid 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design for a comfortable, noise-isolating fit. I'm so angry because these earbuds are so quality. I've used the everyday E25 earbuds on my own time for editing audio and playing VR games without the need for any pesky wires, and it's worked great. So again, you can go to buyraycon.com/saltydkdan or click the link in the description now to get 15% off your order. Big thank yous to Raycon for helping support the channel. Their continued support means so much, so check out their stuff if you're interested. Okay, let's talk about some garbage. No, not that garbage. You a funny boy, but no. Alright, dude, joke's over. You proved that you're a comedic genius. Let's move on. Okay, but seriously, can we fucking not, please? Deciding on bad trades for this list was a pretty hard task, even with just 5. So I decided that for the number 5 spot, I'd get a bit more opinionated with Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Or as I'd like to call it, if the extra fry at the bottom of the McDonald's bag was a Pokemon game. Nice. I swear to God, I will die on this hill. The GameCube games have a lot to love about them, even if they're pretty different from the main series. They're some of the first 3D games to have a fully fleshed out story, a cool world to explore, and even creative ways of catching Pokemon that were inaccessible in the then current Gen 3 games. It was all very experimental, and Gale of Darkness in particular was a huge improvement over Colosseum in nearly every area possible. Well, except for the character design, but that's a whole thing. Colosseum's protagonist felt like a badass new take on the Pokemon formula. But Gale of Darkness's player character looks like he wouldn't be out of place in a circus tent, and that's me being nice.
Look at this dude. Wait till you see the...
I could do a whole video just tearing apart this dude, but as much as I'm tempted, and oh boy am I tempted. Let's focus back on trading, because while these games didn't have that much to offer in the in-game trade department, they did have one sequence involving Togepi. Amongst your travels throughout the Ore region, you'll run into an interesting area called the Outskirts Stand, a broken down locomotive located smack dab in the middle of the harsh desert, otherwise known as your mom's house. It's unknown how it got there, and at first glance it seems like it wouldn't be anything special, like your mom. But its interior tells a different story. Like your mom. The insides of the place have been reconverted into a diner of all things, with various patrons to talk to and interact with. It even functions as a shop to buy Pokeballs and items. The thing we're interested in here though is this guy on the bottom left. His name is Hordell. Who the fuck names their kid that? His name is Hordell, and he used to work for the evil organization Cypher as a scientist creating shadow Pokemon. He has since realized the error of his ways and fled the group, only being able to snag one Pokemon on the way out, a Togepi. This little guy has been corrupted though, and turned into a shadow Pokemon themselves! Hordell asks you to purify Togepi's heart, and if you respond with yes, it'll be gifted to you at no charge. While shadow Pokemon can't level up, evolve, or learn new moves, they can be purified to be able to do so and transferred to other games in the series. But Salty, I hear you saying, what does this have to do with trading? You spent like a couple of minutes introducing the video and doing a sponsorship. I have not heard you talk about trades. So let's get into that. After purifying Togepi, the questline suggests that you go back to Hordell to return it, and in response, he'll trade you an Elekid. It's only a suggestion though. You can be a dick and not give Togepi back, and if I'm being honest, you might want to be a dick. There might not seem to be anything wrong with this trade by today's standards, but prior to Gen 6, this was a huge ripoff for a variety of reasons. Okay, so when you first receive Togepi, they'll have different stats each time, and you can reload the game however many times you want to get what you like. One of my suggestions in particular is to get a Togepi with the ability Serene Grace, which doubles the chance of secondary effects in battle. This Togepi in particular will also learn Tri-Attack upon purification, a powerful powerful move that when transferred to the Gen 4 games and evolved into Togekiss, can make it an absolute beast in competitive battles. Tri-Attack also has a same type advantage bonus, otherwise known as a stab in Gen 4 and 5, before the Togepi line became Fairy type, which makes it an absolutely insane move that Togepi couldn't normally learn at the time. On top of all of this, when XD Gale of Darkness was first released, Togepi was a rare Pokemon, only being able to be found in very specific circumstances. While it was available in Gold and Silver, those games couldn't connect to the Gen 3 titles, making Johto Pokemon in general a bit more rare until the remakes later in Gen 4. Though in comparison, let's talk about Elekid, the Pokemon that Hordell wants to trade you for Togepi. It may have a good moveset when gifted to you, but the Electabuzz line is far more common than Togepi, being able to be caught in mass in the main Gen 3 games, as well as being very easily breedable. And as if that wasn't enough, in Pokemon XD, you can actually get a Shadow Electabuzz later in the game. This effectively makes the Elekid trade super redundant, even if you're doing it to simply fill out your Pokedex in the main games. And as a bonus, as if there needed to be one, this Elekid has a stupid fucking nickname that you can't change due to it being a trade. Personally, I've always had a bias against these sorts of trades where the Pokemon has a nickname that you can't change. Like, I get that they're trying to emulate trading with your friends, but none of my friends ever nicknamed their Pokemon such lame garbage. In English-speaking territories, his name is Zaprong, which is lame as hell, but in Japan, his name is, and I shit you not, Consent. I don't know about you guys, but this is gonna be the only time I don't ask for consent. Hey, quick question. Do you guys ever regret writing a joke in a script, but then committing to that script? I'm asking for a friend. The friend is me. I'm my own best friend. Pokemon Sword and Shield are some of the most divisive titles in the entire Pokemon series. And if I'm being real with you here, I'd rather not beat a dead horse in this video. Or should I say, dead Spectrier. Ooh. Subscribe. Okay, so yeah, the trade here is it's just dumb. I don't know why they even put it in here. In Spike Myth, you can trade an Obstagoon for a normal Mr. Mime, or I guess Cantonian Mr. Mime if you want to get technical. I honestly don't know why you would ever want to do this. Let me be clear on this. These sorts of trades are my least favorite, trading a new and interesting Pokemon for a super old one that everybody is already familiar with. And not only that, but a Pokemon that was already readily available in the games that came out, oh, I don't know, literally a year prior to this one. I guess the purpose of this trade is supposed to be for total newcomers to the series, so that they could, I don't know, properly fill out their Pokedex and stuff. But hold on, a Galarian Mr. Mime takes up the same slot in the Pokedex as a normal Mr. Mime. To complete all your stuff, you don't need to register all of the alternate forms. So what's the point? Why not just catch the new, cool version of Mr. Mime that can evolve into another, newer, cooler Pokemon? One that you need to fill up the Pokedex. Something that normal Mr. Mime can't do. And something that you don't have to waste a whole ass Obstagoon on. Oh, and speaking of which, what's the deal with Obstagoon here? Why on earth would you trade an Obstagoon for a Cantonian Mr. Mime? This whole trade just feels like absolute nonsense to me. Like, it's just meant to fill out the game, I guess? Like, okay. If I maybe had something to trade of equal or lower value, then this could be interesting. But Obstagoon's base stat total is nearly 100 points above the standard Mr. Mime. The best trades in Pokemon feel like you're getting something of greater value than what you put into it. This one just feels like me going to Vegas, betting all my money on black, and losing my 401k. Okay, so maybe not that bad, but damn it, I'm a YouTuber! I need to use hyperbole or else people won't listen to me!
Please subscribe.
The Generation 4 remakes. In my opinion, some of the greatest games in all of the series. There is so much content packed into these games. Everything from the originals is still here, but the programmers at Game Freak went fucking ham on this shit. And even above that, like, do you guys remember the Pokewalker? Fun fact about that thing. Currently, it's registered as one of the most accurate pedometers of all time. The creation of one of the most accurate pedometers is the direct result of Game Freak wanting to make a new Pokemon game. Like, how does that even happen? It's honestly baffling, and every single time I think back to Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I only have positive recollections. And that's why it pains me I have to tear it down by talking about this stupid trade. In Blackthorn City, a woman is willing to trade her Dodrio for a female Dragonair. This thing right here makes Dragonair the only Pokemon able to be male or female that must be a specific gender for an in-game trade. And from this, I ask but a simple question.
Why?
Why the fuck would you ever trade a Dragonair for a Dodrio? Genuine question here, because I sure as hell don't know the answer. Even more important, why does this lady want specifically a female one? If you actually wanted to engage in this trade, you would have to have a very specific Pokemon on hand, and if you don't, you'd have to go through the process of finding a female Dratini or female Dragonair. One of the big reasons I really don't like this trade beyond what I just said is that this trade was actually one of the only trades in the game that got changed with the remakes. In the originals, you could trade a Dragonair for a Rhydon, which nowadays would make for a great pick for one of these segments. Starting in Gen 4, players gained the ability to evolve Rhydon into Rhyperior, which would have made for a great trade in retrospect, a really clever full circle type of moment. Though, as we know, they instead switched Rhydon for Dodrio for some reason, and I don't get it. It was right there. Literally, the original games laid it out for you. Why did they change it? Pokemon X and Y are some really interesting games based on their visuals alone. Even if they didn't have that much in the game content department, they were still able to pull off the first 3D Pokemon game on a handheld, and pretty competently. I've grown to really like how battles look in this game, being a cool sort of transitionary point between the 2D games and what we have now. It's a bit more of a stylized take, while still trying to bring Pokemon into a more life-size 3D space, and I think that's pretty neat. What I don't think is neat is this guy. His name is Caveat, and he wants you to trade your Gyarados for a Magikarp. But never fret, it's not just any Magikarp, it's a special Magikarp. So special, in fact, that at first I couldn't find footage of anyone actually doing this trade. It's so bad that even with videos that claim to include all in-game trades for X and Y, they don't include this one. This trade is so uninteresting, so bland, that people are leaving it out of their video guides. The first and only footage of this trade that I could find was from YouTube user GameLock, and it looks like this. Ah yes, a crisp 480p camcorder recording, just like the good old days. So you might be wondering, despite how uninteresting it is, why is it so hard for me to find footage of this event? Well, couple of really good reasons actually. It turns out that Caveat's appearance is completely random. According to what I initially found, he will randomly appear in any of the Kalos hotels at any time, leaving the whole sequence occurring up to chance. However, according to GameLock, who had the only visual evidence of the trade in motion, you have to find Caveat on 3 separate occasions within 3 days, talking to him each day. If I'm being honest, I'm not sure which of these explanations is true because information on this trade is very vague, but both are pretty absurd circumstances for a garbage trade. Regardless of its level, giving him a Gyarados will result in him forking over a level 5 Magikarp named Carpe Diem. People online have speculated on what makes it so special, like he says, but nobody has been able to nail down exactly why. Which leads me to believe that Caveat is a lying shitbag.
Liar! Don't make me kill you.
It doesn't have a special ability, held item, or anything. It's just a seemingly normal Magikarp with nothing cool about it whatsoever. Honestly, just between us, one-on-one for a second, I know I've been kind of playing it up throughout the video, but it genuinely fascinates me that such a rare and complicated event to trigger could warrant no sort of positive outcome for the player. Conceptually, it's just kind of like Game Freak actively fucking with the player for no reason. I genuinely think that that's pretty fucking funny. I mean, come on. The Magikarp is named Carpe Diem, a phrase associated with making the most out of life. Now that, while cruel, is comedy.
Chocolate chips on the Chuck E. Cheese plate. Oh, wait. Milk.
Oh, sorry, I got bored and I was watching the video again. So for number 1, I picked a trade from Generation 4, one that exists in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Odds are, if you're familiar with those games, you probably already know what I'm about to talk about. And if you don't, well, prep yourself. For number 1 on this list, I'm talking about this absolute bitch. Her name is Mindy, and everybody, and I'm not, that's not hyperbole, everybody hates her. Mindy over here wants to trade her Haunter for your Medicham. And if you know anything about Haunter, then you'll know it evolves into Gengar upon trading. This is a seemingly excellent deal. Gengar is an awesome Pokemon, but since it's locked behind a trading barrier, players that don't normally have friends around won't be able to have access to it, especially not this early in the game. So in theory, this trade remedies that problem. For the first time ever, getting a Gengar through trading will be available to all players, without the need to link to other real-world people. Or at least that should be the case. Upon actually trading though, something's off. The Haunter that's been traded to you doesn't actually evolve. Could this be a glitch? An oversight by the developers? Nah, it's holding a fucking Everstone because fuck you! You were traded a Haunter that held an item that stops Pokemon from evolving during the only process in which it can evolve. Let's talk about all the reasons I think that this is the biggest dick move in all of Pokemon. Okay, so you might be thinking here, oh, well, maybe there's a purpose to this. Maybe she gave it an Everstone so that you could specifically register Haunter to your Pokedex instead of just Gengar. And you know what? You do have a point there. Maybe this segment of the game is specifically to help you fill out the Pokedex. Now, that would make sense, and that is a valid thing to expect. Except it totally is not. If you get a Pokemon that evolves via trading, regardless of it evolving or not, it will get registered to the Pokedex. So in this case, if Haunter actually evolved, both its original form and Gengar would be registered instantly. Oh, and it only gets worse from there. I theorized for a while that maybe this was the only way to get an Everstone in the game. But even that has problems. First off, you can get Everstones fucking everywhere in these games via mining, and they can even be found being held by Gravelers or Geodudes. Also, even if this was the case, that this was the only way to get an Everstone, why did it have to be held by one of the only Pokemon that evolves purely via trading? That makes just no logical sense whatsoever. All of this time, I thought the whole purpose of in-game trades was to make it up to you if you were unable to trade with people locally or didn't have Wi-Fi. Like, you can't evolve Haunter otherwise. You just can't. Compared to every trade I've talked about thus far, this one just feels like the biggest slap in the face. Unlike the previous ones, this one feels like you're being actively deceived. And as if that wasn't bad enough, she is fully aware of what she did and doesn't give a shit. She even straight up taunts you afterward.
Haha, did my Haunter evolve into something else? Just kidding. I made it hold on to something that prevents it from evolving.
Mindy, you flat-faced bitch. She knows it would have evolved if she didn't give it that stupid fucking rock. And in response, she is actively shitting on you. At least with Carpe Diem, you knew you were getting a Magikarp. A Magikarp is what you would receive in that trade. But there is no way that the average player could know that this Haunter is holding an Everstone. I'm not alone in this either. The rest of the internet agrees. Did you know that there's a whole subreddit dedicated to hating this asshole? It's called r/fuck_Mindy. This isn't a joke. It has over 10,000 members. This is probably the only user-generated content on Reddit that I find any particular value in, so I'm really just trying to take it in. I would read through some of the posts myself, but honestly, I wouldn't do them any justice. So check it out if you get a chance. So yeah, fuck you, Mindy, and I'm done. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. This is the unscripted end card, so I hope I nail it in one go. I don't normally make content like this, but I am planning on making much more of it in the coming year or so, so stay tuned for that. Just said so twice. I do a lot of gaming and some pop culture stuff, so if you're interested in more of my video essays, you can check them out here, or you can just check my channel for whatever the heck I got going on. See ya!